Now, one of the issues is services inflation, okay? And I'll just give you a couple real life examples of services inflation, because this is something, if you hear what Jerome Powell's talking about, if you hear what the Federal Reserve's talking about, they keep talking about services inflation is where we still have problems. Goods inflation's come down, that's great, but we still have a lot of services inflation, okay? And I gotta say, I've seen some of this in the real world, okay? So I got some landscaping done recently, okay? Keep in mind, this house is relatively new, right? And so my bushes are like teeny little tiny things, right? My wife called and got landscaping done. It took these guys less than an hour, okay? It took them less than an hour to do this, 2 guys. You know how much they charge for that? $180. $180, man. It's like $90 an hour for each of them, right? To do some flip and flapjack and little landscaping, you say, well, they might have spent a little gas using their blower, or using their little trimmers or whatever. Come on, man. What are they going to use, $5-10 worth there? Give me a break. It's not even going to be close to that much, right? At the end of the day, those guys made like $80 to $90 an hour, basically, for doing my yard. And it's like, geez, man, I don't think I'm going to become a landscaper, leave YouTube. It sounds like a pretty dang good amount of money to be making doing just landscaping, right? Give you another example. I went on vacation last month, and I don't get to take a real vacation like that where I totally unplug, other than maybe like once a year, right? And I went with my wife, and, the place we stayed at, La Casa de la Playa, right? I just called him up and, told him I just wanted like a massage, right? So 90-minute massage, a couple's massage. I figured, it's a high-end place, obviously. I figured maybe $400, $500 for this couple's massage. This thing was $700. I didn't know. I didn't ask the price or whatever. I told him just book it. I'm like, geez, man, $700? Okay, all right. That was cool. 90 minutes. $700 later. Wow. Okay. And that just goes to show you the services inflation that still is out there right now, where, anything that this all falls into services, right? All this stuff, or whether you're talking about getting a massage, or whether you're talking about landscaping, or getting your house cleaned, or anything like that, right? Going to a restaurant, all this stuff kind of fits in that services category. And that's where we're still seeing this high inflation. And the real problem is unemployment's been so low. So if you get a higher unemployment rate, then you have more competition for the services field, right? And for all these, whether it be the person that works at the restaurant, or whether it be the person that does landscaping, or whether it be the person that cleans a house or cleans a pool or whatever, when unemployment goes up, people go to those sorts of services type jobs, right? And then you start to see potentially even deflation, because people start to undercut other folks' prices on that, right? No different than back when I had my real estate marketing company, right? Photography, videography, all those sorts of things for real estate. Back when I started that business, that was my first successful business I ever started, right? I started that at the end of 2015. What did I do? I came into that field and I undercut everybody. I undercut everybody's price, and I built a very impressive clientele list of some of the best realtors in all of Las Vegas in less than a year, but I undercut everybody's price, right? So if anything, I caused services deflation in that market, because, I came in there and I was just out competing folks for lower price. And so this is just something to keep in mind. But when you have unemployment so low, people have all these jobs, all these other places, then the people that are in the services can just get, top dollar for all this. And it's like, oh, go somewhere else, so you're going to pay just as much, if not more, right? So that's the situation we have at this point in time that is still the sticky part. But believe me, once unemployment starts to climb in any significant way, that's when you start to see all the services inflation stop almost immediately, because then people got to do something to make a buck, right?